A hearty good morning to all. From our English Reader course book, I'll explain a lesson for you today. So turn page number 68. In a page number 68, we have lesson 6, The White Mouse Circus. Before starting the lesson, let us have some talkings. Alright? I'm going to ask you something. So give me your ears. Shall we start? Do you dream of anything? Not often, but rarely, isn't it? Some dreams are vague and unclear, while others are exciting one, isn't it? We share our dreams with our dear and near ones. Sometimes we share with our elders and teachers too. But anyhow, we dream. Sometimes when the festivals are near, often the dream of new garments and spicy, delicious, tasty meal knocks the door of a life without any invitation, isn't it? Dreaming is nice. It is very good. But dreaming in a better way leads us where? Do you know? Some dreams get us aware of our future. Some events come like a guest and leaves some linings, some spots, some traces, some remarks in our life. It turns and points as a hobby. Then this hobby converts into our goal, our aim, our destination. Which type of aim? To become a doctor, an engineer, a scientist, an officer, an astronaut, a teacher, or a nurse. On the other hand, we can become a clerk, a businessman, a managing director, an actor, a singer, a dancer, a social worker, and so forth. Beside this, you can write short stories, poems, songs, and like this, you can become a writer in future, isn't it? So, today we are going to meet a boy who started playing with something. The play became his hobby, and that hobby knocked the door of dream. What was his dream? How it fascinated him? All these will come to know through our lesson. Okay? Now, let us have some talkings about the characters of our lesson 6. We have 6 characters in this lesson. First, the boy. Second, the grandma. Third, a chambermaid. Fourth, the manager. Fifth, William. Sixth, Mary. Among these characters, the boy is the author himself. He is the main character in this lesson. William and Mary are the mice. Okay? Welcome back to the lesson, The White Mouse Circus. A boy went with his grandma to a place called Bournemouth. It was not his wish. His grandma was advised by a doctor to have bracing and healthy air for her health. For this, she had to go to Bournemouth. At present, the school was closed for the summer holidays, so she took her grandson along with her to Bournemouth. Visiting Bournemouth, she can improve her health and the grandson would spend his holidays there. Okay? They stayed in the Hotel Magnificent, which according to the boy was very boring place to spend a summer holiday there. He was not supposed to go, but grandma consoled by giving him a present of 2 white mice. The present was just to entertain him. The 2 white mice were named William and Mary. So, the boy took William and Mary with him to Bournemouth. The boy had his own separate room, so he kept his mice with him. He started teaching them tricks. First, he taught them to creep up the sleeve of the jacket and come out of his neck. Next, he taught them to climb up the back of his neck onto the top of his head. This he did by putting crumbs on his head. Next morning, the chambermaid entered the room to make his bed. Suddenly, she got a sight of the mice poking head out from the bedsheet. She screamed. Hearing the dreadful scream, a dozen of people rushed to see. They thought someone was being murdered. The boy was reported to the manager. An unpleasant scene was created and it was followed by the call of the manager. The grandma and the boy were presented in the office of the manager. The manager was face to face with the grandma and the boy. The manager started speaking to grandma and they had a bitter discussion. "I cannot permit any mice in my hotel," the manager spoke out. In return, grandma burst out, "How dare you say that when your rotten hotel is full of rats anyway?" The manager was shocked. "Rats? There are no rats in this hotel." "Now," grandma cried, "I saw one this very morning. It was running down the corridor into the kitchen." Grandma carried on, "You had better get the rat catcher in at once before I report you to the public health authorities. The rats may be skulking all over the kitchen floor, jumping in and out of the soup." Before the manager could say any word, grandma carried on her words. "My breakfast toast was all nibbled round the edges. It had a nasty ratty taste. If you are not careful, the health authorities will be ordering the entire hotel to be closed before everyone gets typhoid fever. Are you or are you not going to allow my grandson to keep his white mice in his room?" Hearing the bitter lecture from grandma, the manager was beaten. He was ready for the compromise. He gave the permit to keep the mice in the room, but they were not allowed out of the cage. On the other side, the boy could not continue with the training in his room because the chambermaid was spying on him. She warned him that the first mouse to break the rule and come out of the cage would be drawn in a bucket of water by the hall porter. The boy found a colossal room which had a theatre-like look on the ground floor of the hotel. He decided to train his mice in that room. So the first thing for him was to train the mice in tightrope walking. What were the steps for it? He took a piece of string and some good cake that the mice liked. The boy stretched the string and tied between his hands. At first, he kept it very short to about 3 inches and then gradually increased the length. He kept the mice one side and the cake on the other side. The mouse had to walk on the string to reach the cake. First, he taught William and rewarded him with extra crumbs and a currant. Then he decided to teach Mary the same trick. The boy's blinding ambition was to become the owner of a White Mouse Circus. He imagined himself performing in front of the elite audience of Europe. Like this, we came to know the dream of the author. So, till then, keep on learning. Take care. Thank you.